Okay, guys, so we did a video many years ago when we did leopard geckos, and it was so you want to be a leopard gecko breeder, and people love that video, and we get a lot of questions. I mean, me personally, every week, breeding, how do I do it? I want to do it. So I'm gonna go over some things in this video that are going to give you a better idea of what you have to look at when you're thinking about starting a breeding project, breeding program, whatever it may be. Some of the things might be obvious, but what I find is when we go over this stuff on the phone, 9 out of 10 people go, "Oh, no, I don't want to do that." So, really quick, it doesn't really matter how you decide to do your breeding program, whether you decide to do natural breeding, whether you decide to do hormonal breeding. Both ways can be done. Very safe for the frogs, produce healthy froglets. They're both two way different formulas. I'm not going to go over how we do the hormonal breeding with some of the Pacmans. We do a hybrid here of both. Yeah, we do some hormonal breeding. We never hid that. We haven't hid that from the start. And we have no issues with it as long as it's done safely. But it is something I had somebody teach me, and I've had a couple really great breeders along the way help me out. To keep it safe and give me some tips, and because I was really serious about what I wanted to do here, and that just took a lot of time and kind of befriending with them, and that's just invaluable knowledge that I'm just not going to share in this video. So number one, you have to decide how you're going to breed. That's step number one. Actually, I lied. Before that, you got to make sure you have males and females, and that's another question I get tons. Do you sell adult or sexable frogs? No, we don't, and we're not going to. And the reason being is, over the years, I have bought adult Pacman. Here and there we will purchase some adult Pacman from people that we know that are reputable. But man, guys, can you get burned from people selling adult Pacman. Improper care, bacterial issues, chytrid issues, viral issues, just not an animal that was grown properly, to put into a breeding program. Improper sexed animals sent to you. So honestly, your best bet is to go right ahead and purchase the morphs you want as babies and grow them up. It's as simple as that. You then control the care, the diet, the supplementation, and what's happening the whole time. And that's the way to do it. And don't, another thing is, don't just go, well, I want to breed, let's say albinos for say, and you buy 2 albinos. It's not going to work, guys. It's just not. You're definitely going to need more males than females, and you're going to have to buy multiple animals for any breeding project. You're, 10, 15 animals. It's a lot more work behind the scenes that people think of just, well, I'm going to grab this male, I'm going to grab this female, and this is what we're going to do. And while you can have some success possibly doing it that way, it's really not a good way to do it. So make sure to buy multiple animals. If you have extra sexes of certain morphs, it's never going to hurt you. So that should be step number one. I should have started with that. And as far as going past that, so let's say you picked your breeding program. You know how you want to breed them. You've researched if you're going to do the natural way or the hormonal way. You've researched how to do those different ways and how you're going to get there. And let's say you get to the point where now you're ready to breed. These animals are mature, they're old enough. You built your rain chamber, you got your timing down, you rolled the dice, and you got lucky and it worked. Because let me tell you guys, it doesn't know, people think it's every single time. It's boom, oh my God, we're going to get all these babies. No matter if we, oh, you guys are using hormones, you must have, thousands of babies at the drop of a dime. And I can tell you that doesn't happen that way for any of us breeders. You could control a lot more variables, but it's not like that crazy. So let's say you get to that point, you run down that stairs like it's Christmas morning to check that rain chamber, and there's tons of tadpoles. Now comes the work, guys. Now comes the money. And I say now comes the money because you got to have all that stuff set up prior. Thousands of dollars worth of big 100-gallon tubs or tanks, canister filters, sponge filters, aerators. Don't go cheap on your heaters, your water heaters, because I guarantee it could cost you thousands of dollars if you do. So now hopefully you have all that set up prior to that Christmas morning, because if you don't, you could be in a world of hurt. So there's a lot of investment monetarily before you even get to that. So now you're out there, let's say that goes well, and you have all that set up, and you're to that level, and the babies are going in. Now you need to have access to bloodworms, a lot of them, because they eat 4 to 5 times a day, guys. If you have a full-time job, good luck. You have to feed them a lot. They need a lot of clean water, and you constantly have to be there. That's why it is 8:30 here in Pennsylvania. Me and Rafe are now doing the videos because we just got done with the day. And it's not that we have just Pacmans here to take care of, but they take up a lot of time when you're going back and forth and feeding and doing all these other things. So you have to have tons of bloodworms, and they're not cheap, guys. Remember, you can have anywhere from 200 to 1,500 tadpoles. And I know I've heard from a lot of people say, well, they're going to eat each other, and that, I'm going to get what I'm going to get, and that's what it is. Well, yes, you're going to have a certain amount of cannibalism. That is very common in this species, no matter how much you feed and clean them. But at the end of the day, it's not what you want. You want to get as many viable animals out of the water as you possibly can, because that's just ethical. You don't want to slack on the food or the care and let them eat each other just because you weren't prepared. So that's a big one, the food. So let's skip ahead. Let's say you went that whole way, you got through all those other hurdles, and now you got them coming out of the water. And there's tips and tricks to that as well. So let's say you get them out of the water, and you got a good spawn, 400 to 500 mouths to feed. Guess what, guys? That's a lot of crickets. We go through 16,000 crickets here a week. 400 to 500 Pacman are easily going to eat 8 to 10,000 crickets a week. Let's say you get them on average for $12 a box. Some people more, some people less. If you're not buying wholesale. So $12, times, let's say 10,000 a week, is $120 a week just to feed them. That's not including housing. That's not including your labor. That's not including what you're putting in the housing as far as substrate. It's not including your water bill, which is going to be huge from those tadpoles. I'm telling you that right now. And it's not including the supplements that are going to go on them. It's not including the electricity it's going to take to keep these warm. So now you're up there, and you got these perfect frogs, right? You made through all those variables, and you did a great job. And you're very meticulous, and you did your homework. So now you have these 400 to 500 frogs ready to go. And the most common thing I hear is, well, my pet stores are going to take them. Guys, I don't care what in the hell they're telling you. No pet store's buying 400 to 500. They're telling you that because they want them cheaper than what they could get them in the market. So they're feeding you full of false information. But I can tell you, once you add up all that money that you just invested to get that one spawn. Now, some of that supplies is going to be for future use, but bloodworms are gone, the crickets are gone, the electricity's gone, that water bill's gone. Guess what? You got to at least break even if you're a hobbyist. You want to break even. They're not buying them. They're not buying 400 to 500. So now you need a lot of outlets, because a typical store buys about 20 to 30. So you need a lot of outlets. If you're not going to shows, you don't have access to bigger wholesalers, which I'll tell you right now, they're all taken up. There's 4 to 5 breeders here in the country, which all of the major accounts are already I don't want to say spoken for, but we have we respectfully have our own territories of where we go. So it's going to be tough. So you got to have that game plan at the end of the day. So that is definitely the biggest hurdle to do. When I started out, we were making all these Pacman. We didn't have these wholesale accounts. We relied on shows and online and some wholesale. And I could tell you, if one of those avenues alone, we wouldn't be able to sell our Pacman. So you have to have a lot of avenues to sell your Pacman, and then also, you know, make sure you're at least breaking even. You hope to make a little bit of a profit. I mean, at the end of the day, guys, let's be honest with ourselves. You want to make a little bit. We do this for a living. This is how I feed my child. This is how we keep these lights on. So we have to make a profit or we can't do it. But if you're doing it at home, you want to at least break even. You don't want to break into the family funds, the grocery money to do this. So my best advice is to really think it through. This video is not made to deter anybody. I'm certainly not saying, oh my God, nobody's allowed to breed. That's not going to happen. That's not the point. I want you to think it out. This is not a leopard gecko where you're going to have to find homes for 15 to 20 babies. And that's for the whole year. This is a frog that lays a lot of babies. And it's a lot of work. So just think through all the steps. Not just the, oh my God, this is going to be awesome to have a whole lot of tadpoles and see all these beautiful gems coming out of the water. Because they are. It's magical. It really is. Being able to do what we do on a daily basis, I love it. But it takes years to fine-tune what you do and to make sure you go. So, sorry this was a little bit of a longer video. I hope it answered some of those questions for you guys out there. I know we get a lot of calls, and hopefully this video will help you better think through your program and what you want to do. So thanks again for watching, guys. Make sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you want to keep hearing from us, just let us know. Make sure to hit the newsletter on our page too to get all kinds of exclusives and sales. So have a great holiday. Thanksgiving's around the corner. Christmas is coming next. Let us know what you want to say and stay safe, guys.